Everton. What a massive win for Everton, by the way, earlier today as well. Jordan Pickford, I feel like he's on the ground longer than a Ken Burns documentary, but, you know, it works for him, whatever. But what a performance from Jordan Pickford and Everton, by the way. And, you know, it's amazing because now, obviously, they have a game in hand on Leeds United, who lost big time against Man City. Toffee's remaining fixtures, by the way, away at Leicester, away at Watford, at home to Brentford, at home to Palace, and then away at Arsenal. But, you know, this is pretty intriguing now, Heath Pearce, because Watford lose to Burnley. We beat Norwich. Aston Villa beat Norwich, so sadly Norwich goes down. So there's 2 spots left. You would think that Watford is done just because of the points. It's just too much as well. Yes. So now there's 1 spot left here. 1 spot left. Who is joining them? Are you worried about Leeds United, Heath Pearce?
I mean, I am. The turnaround of Burnley at the moment is nothing short of spectacular. Also, the fall of Everton. You go, oh, gosh, there's no, like, your mind tells you there's just no way Everton goes down, right? Just logically, there's no way Everton can go down, just because of the quality that they have. I mean, they just literally beat Chelsea, and you saw a side. And again, this has been the Pickford argument all the time, which is like national team versus club team. Can he have that type of form? And now you see one performance where the team can come together, and you see the quality that Everton have. That you go, there's just no way that in the remaining fixtures that they're not going to be able to find a way to get some of those points. Having said that, it's not an easy pathway in terms of their schedule. And then I look at Leeds, by the way, and I had it up here a second ago. Let me see if I still have it for Leeds' schedule. But Leeds have, maybe I don't have it up in front of me anymore. But yeah, Leeds have a difficult run as well. And so I don't want to say, do you have Burnley's schedule up anywhere? Let me see.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to you right now. Well, let's talk about Leeds United, which you just mentioned. By the way, before we do that, Des Norris, I believe you have a good video of what was going on outside the Chelsea hotel before this game against Everton. This was what was going on. Obviously, I love it. It's getting really South American, the Premier League, Heath Pearce. It's like, you know, trying to keep them awake right before a game. Pretty impressive. And the fireworks display is pretty impressive.
That is a good firework display. Somebody spent a lot of money on that, because those do not look like cheap fireworks. If you can see them above all of the buildings, then that was an investment made by a wealthy person to throw them off. So it's certainly going to be a hard one. And then, you know, again, Burnley play Villa, they play Spurs
twice,
and then they play Villa, and then they play Newcastle. So I don't want to say it's certainly not an easy one, for sure, because if you're Burnley, you're grinding everything right now. But when I look at that, I go, there's probably some points there. When I look at Everton's schedule, it's again decent. You know, they play Palace, like you said, they play Brentford, they play Watford, should be able to get points there, and then they finish the season against Arsenal. And so those seem a little bit easier than the Leeds one, if I remember correctly. Leeds schedule is to wrap up the season is they play.
The Leeds one I got for you.
They've got Arsenal, they got Chelsea, and then they got Brighton and Brentford. So Brighton and Brentford are their main fixtures, right? That they're going to focus on. Now, maybe you can get a point out of Arsenal. I doubt it. Maybe you get a point out of Chelsea. I doubt it, because you're at home in that one. You're away to Arsenal. But the Brighton and the Brentford are the 2 matches that you're going to have to get points out of. And Brentford's in good form again. They stopped their sort of nosedive, and Brighton are in fantastic form in the top half of the table. So only 1 loss, and I think their last 5 or 6. And so it's not looking good for Leeds in terms of needing points, you know. But they seem to be motivated. They seem to be, I mean, not this weekend, they got battered, but like they seem to have a little bit of this like never say die attitude to them that they had already, but with a little bit more structure under Jesse Marsch. The fans were obviously chanting, "You're going to keep us in the Premier League. You're going to keep us up." But it's a long road, and if I were to look at the power or the strength of those 3 schedules, Leeds certainly has the hardest path to getting, say, 6 points out of their next 4 games in order to stay alive. I do think 6 points stays alive. Will keep you in the league for sure. That's 50% wins in their final 4 games. That's a lot. But if they can get 6, I could see them doing it. But it's going to be hard.